Due to some language in this episode, listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to episode 127 of the Rollo and Slappy Show. Today is January 14th, 2019. I am Rollo McFlugel, and with me is Slappy Jones 2, and we are both from McFlugel.com. The show notes page for this episode is McFlugel.com/127, where you'll be able to find links to the things we talk about, as well as ways to check out our guests. And if you hear a little bit of, sounds like traffic in the background, Slappy, do you want to tell us who our guest is tonight?
Yeah, Rollo, thanks everyone for listening. Our guest today is Quincy Johnson. You can find him on Twitter at Quincy Loves BBWs. Quincy's a truck driver. He has one of the coolest little taglines on his Twitter bio there. If you don't control your life, someone else will. Welcome to the show, Quincy.
I got a fish in my pocket and get off my lawn. No, I'm just playing. What's up, y'all?
That's
What's going on?
Not much. That's the best way someone has entered the podcast as a guest that we've ever had. So there you go.
Yeah, so Quincy's a great follow on Twitter if you're not following him already. He's a very intelligent guy, very well educated, out on the road as we speak. Quincy, tell us a little bit how you came. Oh, first off, tell us about your views a little bit in that, I can assume you're a free market guy. You like freedom. You like voluntary interaction. But how did you come to that?
I got tired of seeing what was popping off as far as, politicians and whatnot. And I came to the conclusion that they really only care about your vote and your money. Once they have that, you really aren't anything to them. So, I started looking at other, yes, I know the quarter mile, shut up. So I started looking at other things as far as libertarianism, anarcho-ism, all of that stuff, Mm-hmm. Yep.
Awesome.
Sorry, brother. My freaking GPS is talking up a storm.
That's good.
But get the microphone close to the GPS. Maybe it wants to. Maybe it has something to say. How did your GPS become a libertarian?
How did my GPS become a libertarian? Well, she started off with a bottle of whiskey, and before you know it, she was a libertarian.
There we go. Doesn't matter how we get there.
Correct.
All right, so let's jump right into the topic we wanted to talk about then. I've been kind of thinking about this, and I've had conversations with Slappy in the past, and it's always been before or after we're recording an episode, but I think it's something worth talking about, and talking about racism. And I want to talk about it a little bit differently than how the conversation is normally talked about among libertarians, because I think it's pretty well known in our circles that racism still might exist. It doesn't exist like it has in the past, but one of the concerns people have about libertarianism, about a stateless society, is how do you deal with racism? How do you deal with discrimination? And we certainly have answers to that. We say that there's freedom of association, so we have nonviolent ways of dealing with racists, that we can not do business with them, kind of kick them out of polite society. And these are good tools, but my concern with that is that it gets kind of used as a bludgeon, that being a racist is not a monolithic thing. You can have someone that just maybe, for whatever reason, just thinks that, white people are the best. We just had an episode recently talking about Stefan Molyneux, who just thinks that IQ is based upon one of the
that guy's an asshole.
Yeah, I know. I do not like him at all. But
I cussed him out, and actually, I think he was the reason I got kicked off for 12 hours or something with his bitch ass.
Yeah, we talked about him. We ripped him a little bit on his IQ is based on the color of your skin, I guess. So.
But he's a good example because I think what his views on race are stupid, and we can dismiss them. But I don't think I don't know that he's motivated by hatred, and so I think we really need to distinguish between people that just have stupid ideas versus people are motivated by hatred. So,
do you think he's a dangerous person?
Like, hell no. I think he's motivated by junk science. You know, shit that's been discredited decades ago, like that whole what do you call it? Crap, the studying of the scalps for analogy or something.
Well, there's eugenics and
yeah. I think that's where he's getting this information from. And I just want to, sit him down and like talk to him like, yo, dog, this shit is outdated and not good. What are you doing? All right, come on, man, get in this damn parking spot. Sorry, I'm trying to back up in this dirt lot, and there's like no lights whatsoever. So I had to make sure I'm backing in straight and I don't hit anything or hit anybody. And
well, except for status.
Boom goes the dynamite. No. All right, there we go. Boom goes the dynamite. I am parked. Let's do this.
Awesome. Yeah. So, Slap, did you just were you in the middle of a thought?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So how do we deal with a guy like Molyneux? We don't think he's dangerous necessarily, and we don't think he's not motivated by hatred or evil. We'll at least give him the benefit of the doubt and go with that. So how do we deal with someone like that? Do we want to? And let's not talk about Stefan Molyneux because he's just not that likable of a guy. But just think of a guy like that, some average Joe that you find out that hey, he thinks that just non-whites just are genetically inferior. He doesn't hate other people. He doesn't hate non-whites.
Right.
But he's still a racist. So how do we deal with someone like that? Because
here's how you deal with them. If it's on social media, let it fly. Just for the simple fact that no matter what you say, they're going to believe what they're going to believe, and F you if you got a problem with it. Because it's like somebody who is that rooted in their thoughts, you're probably never going to get them to change how they think. So it's just like, I try not to interact with him on online, you know what I'm saying, on my page. Now, as far as in real life, if somebody thinks that way, in all honesty, who am I to tell somebody what they can and can't think? You can think that, and then I'm going to take joy and pleasure proving your bitch ass wrong every single chance that I get. Sorry, I curse a lot. My bad.
That's good.
It's like, oh well, I think that black people are stupid. Really, bitch? I'm making a week what you making a month. Who's really the fucking dummy? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. So,
yeah, I mean that's just by leading by example. Go ahead.
I would like to say this to the people who are out here filming themselves beating up white folk because they didn't call your name or whatever. Yeah, it's cute. You got your little war star moment and everything until the lawman start knocking on your door because you done filmed yourself beating somebody's ass. Yeah, I know it's effed up. They didn't called you the N-word or whatever. But it's like, you got to think about it. Them white people or whoever it is, they're playing the long game. They're looking to get a reaction. They're looking to draw the foul. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me personally, I done seen it happen a bunch of times where, like, some white person is in somebody's face talking all up the side of their neck or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then the minute they say the word that gets them triggered, they want to punch off. It's like, I have to tell my one of my friends this. If a white person calls you a nigger in front of a cop, they're not going to jail. However, if you punch a white dude for calling you a nigger in front of a cop, you're going to jail, and that white person has won. Because in their mind, y'all got punched in the face, maybe even got my ass whooped, but now there's one less nigger on the streets. I win, and that's how they think. So don't even give them a satisfaction. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, have I been called a nigger? Hell yeah, bunch of times. I had to do one of a few things. Either laugh right in their damn face and ask them, bitches, that's the best you got. Or if I know I'm going to be around them for a period of time, I call them a nigger right back, and I keep addressing them as a nigger for my entire duration around them until they get the message like, damn, I fucked up. This is the wrong black dude. I should have said that too. Yeah, you're damn right, because now I'm going to make life uncomfortable for you. I'm not going to do what you want me to do and tee off and beat your ass. No. I'm going to match your same energy. I'm going to call you a nigger, going to call you a turn baby, spook, whatever. Works like a charm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good. I So let's take this a little more generally, and let's go back to that guy who's just, maybe just has bad ideas about IQ and everything.
Right.
And you own a store. And he comes in and goes shopping and wants to give you money. Do you think that's like, obviously it's your store. You can do business with whomever you want in the libertarian society. Do you think that having those stupid views on race is worth not selling him whatever you're trying to sell?
Hell no. I'm a capitalist. I will sell you whatever the fuck you want if I have it in stock. I don't care. It's like me personally, if my ass owned a bakery and you came in and said, I want you to make a cake that says Quincy Johnson is a dumbass. Okay, whatever, dog. Whatever, baby. Pay me.
You're going to pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, you're going to pay for it, and it's going to be the nastiest cake you ever tasted, but I will freaking make it for you, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the great thing about what we would say capitalism, free market capitalism is, people want to work for money. They'll put your views aside and provide a service for you. I had a question that's big in the libertarian world for sure is the police and what I would say certain parts of the libertarian world and even parts of the mainstream society will say that the cops are racist toward blacks. And it's my opinion. Now, maybe they are, maybe they're not. Maybe there's some racist cops and others not. I don't know. I think it's a distraction from what's really happening. But what do you think about that? You're on the road a lot. You interact with police officers, I'm sure. How has your experiences been, and what do you think of that?
Okay. I will say that, are there some racist cops? Yeah. You can find racists in just about every profession you can think of. Having said all that, full disclosure, I am a felon, okay? If cops were really as racist as the media makes them out to be, my black ass would have been shot and killed a long damn time ago, okay? I'll be honest with you, I've never had a bad interaction with the police because I know how to interact with the police. And I remember somebody was like, yo, man, the very fact that you got to act a certain way to not get killed by the police is appalling. Well, I'm just like, yo, B, you get what you get. If you act like an asshole, guess what? You're going to get treated like an asshole. You know what I'm saying? And again, for me personally, the phrase that pays is, officer, am I being detained or am I free to go? That has saved my ass more times than a little bit. Okay. But as far as me as a black man, before a truck driver, after I became a truck driver, yeah, I've never had any bad interactions with the police, and I've had more than my fair shares of interactions with the police. You know what I mean? It's like, let's see, how can I put it, man? You really got to know just how to talk to them. It's like just how you have a certain way to talk to a female to get some ass or something like that. There's a certain way to talk to a cop to get your ass out of there alive and with no tickets.
Yeah, no, that's great advice because, like, I know Rollo and I will talk about privatizing security. We think that would work much better than the socialized police force that we have today. But that's not going away. And we still got to live in this world. And you got to know the rules of the game. And you got to know how to navigate the system. And understanding how to talk to the police is much better than getting hit with a baton or,
or catching a bullet.
Exactly. So, no, I mean, that's really sound advice.
Like, honestly, before I became a truck driver, I ain't gonna sit there and say, I was a gangster or dope dealer and nothing like that. But let's just say, I've done a few things. And it's been many a times where, I done got pulled over by the police. I done had weed on me, half empty 40 ounce in the motherfucking car, and still was able to walk away, with either a minor ticket for no insurance or whatever, because that was my big thing. I never had any insurance back in the day, or, just let off with a warning and, hey, buddy, slow it down. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So you've been around the country, you're a truck driver, and we hear all throughout the media about how racist the United States is and everyone is. So and it's easy for people to dismiss people like Slappy and Axel to just say, well, you're just middle-class white guys. How are you going to understand any of this? So what's your experience overall with people in general?
Here is my experience. I work in a white male-dominated industry. If America was really as racist as the media makes it out to be, I couldn't do my damn job as a damn truck driver. Okay? Seriously. Are there some racists out here? Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I don't even think that we're really ever going to get rid of racism, just for the simple fact that I consider racism to be hate. Hate is a part of human nature, and you can't change human nature. Somebody's going to always, hate on you or shit on you for, your race, your ethnicity, your sexuality, what have you. So you might as well live your life as you see fit and later for all that fuck shit. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know, man. Like I said, racism is out there, but you can easily overcome that shit. Okay? And let me say this here. I live in Atlanta. Everybody wants to say that the freaking South is racist. Man, listen. I've seen more Confederate flags outside of the South than inside of the South.
I believe that, actually.
Dude, Illinois, Indiana, they got a shit ton of them. Seriously. You go to all the small towns in Illinois, Indiana, they got them. Colorado got them. Kansas and Missouri got them. Hell, even Oregon and Washington State has them. You know what I mean? But it's like,
So what's your reaction when you see them? Do you get upset by that?
Nothing. Hell no. Dude,
you don't run them off the road?
No, brother. I am probably one of the biggest Dukes of Hazzard fans out there. Okay? I'm still mad about... Yes. Like, quite honestly, if I ever had the money, I would buy the General Lee. And I don't give a damn what anybody thinks about that. Okay? The first time I saw that car jump a fucking bridge, I was hooked. Okay? And nobody will ever change my mind about that. All right? It's a flag. It's like, for everything that people are saying about the Confederate flag, hell, you can say that about the freaking American flag. Because that flag flew at the same time as slavery. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yes, the North gave up slavery before the South did, but it doesn't negate the fact that states in the North had slaves in the first damn place. Come on, man. What are we doing? And one more thing, and this goes strictly to, my fellow black people, however 3 or 4 people might be listening to this. It is 2019. If your ass is still out here using slavery as a crutch, yo, man, go fuck yourself, man. I'm sorry, B. You cannot honestly look yourself in the mirror and say you're not successful because of slavery. Get out of here, bro. That was a long, long damn time ago. Yeah, it sucked. I don't condone it. I don't want that shit to happen again, which it won't. But if you're sitting here like, man, I can't get ahead, man, because, slavery back in the day, they put it, shut up. Like, I'm literally doing this shit on the 8th grade education. What's your damn excuse?
Yeah.
Like, get out of here, B.
You're educated far beyond 8th grade. But on that, Rallo touched on it, and you did too. Libertarians are a bunch of white dudes. So how do you get, what made you want to look into it or believe it or even explore it at all, libertarianism, when it's just a bunch of white dudes?
I got into it when I was living in Austin, Texas. At the time, before the hipsters took over, there actually was a pretty deep-ass libertarian section in Austin. And from being at various parties or whatever, I ran across a couple of libertarians. And through drinking and smoking, we have a little conversation. I'm just like, but damn, that don't sound too bad at all. Because before meeting the actual libertarian, I was only going off of what a liberal had told me about libertarians. Like, oh man, they wanna privatize this and take away food stamps. And we're like black people, just like, what? And then I met a libertarian and we hung out, just like, yo, that motherfucker lied to me. You ain't like that at all.
That's interesting. See, I always thought that, the black community would be more open to libertarianism because you would think there's some kind of mistrust of government authority. But it seems like, and this isn't just with blacks, it's with whites as well. It's with everyone. People seem to want to turn to government to help for help instead of, as you say on your profile, basically creating your own space, control your life or someone else will.
Yes.
Message seems so hard to get out. Yeah. And they're not going to help. They're not there to help you. They're not there. They don't care about you. Like you said earlier, they're not looking for you to be successful. They're looking to take your money or put you in jail.
Yeah, especially too, because the black community really seems to have an interest in taking care of itself, so that you would hope that would manifest itself in just telling the state to, go kick sand, go pound sand.
Yeah.
So what kind of reaction?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna expand on that. Like, yeah, there are some in the black community that are for doing for self. You know what I'm saying? Not saying becoming isolationist, but just not having to depend on others for our own well-being. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at some of the hotels, which I do consider myself a hotel, we're all about self-sufficiency, you know what I'm saying? Doing it for yourself, making sure that, you're, that if nothing else, your house is in order. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
So when you're talking to your friends or family, or if you do talk about this stuff to them, how do they take it?
Well, in all honesty, me and my girl, we actually have some really, really good debates because because she is a bleeding heart liberal and I'm not, not even close to it. You know what I'm saying? And I keep trying to, put it in mind, like, yeah, you got this government program, you got this government program. Isn't that something that we can do on our own? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go running to the feds, to the government. That's something we can handle on our own, or we can find somebody outside of government where we can freaking do this thing. It's like I would love to get the word out about school choice. You know what I'm saying? Because that right there, man. Listen, man, it's like I am. You know what? In all honesty, if the libertarians wanted to get more black folk to join, first of all, you're gonna have to talk to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not only that, talk to us knowing that this may very well not go well for you, but at least you showed up. You know what I mean? That's why I got to give a big salute to the big homie Rand Paul, because at least he's down to talk to us. I can respect him. You know what I'm saying? That's what them fucking GOP dumbasses just can't figure out. I'm like, you got to talk to us, and talk to us knowing that this may very well be the biggest L of your career. Show up anyway, okay? And when you do show up, don't show up talking the same old talking points about what's bad in the black community, because guess what? We already fucking know.
Yep.
Okay. Talk about what's good in the black community and how you're going to expand on it. Like me personally, if my ass was a Republican trying to get votes, I would spend the first 20 minutes talking about black women and how awesome they are. Black women are the fastest rising group as far as being educated, and owning small businesses and being the head of households. I would talk about that, and then talk about how I'm going to make life more comfortable, you know what I'm saying, for them, and then go from there.
Yeah, definitely. And something you said a little bit earlier kind of popped into an idea in my head. We would never think that in reference to talking to family and friends, you'd never think that maybe libertarianism is going to be the thing that helps us transcend race, because no matter whether you're black or you're white, when you're a libertarian, your friends and family still think you're crazy.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I cut off a bunch of my friends once I knew I was no longer a liberal. I either cut off a bunch of my friends or they freaking cut me off. You know what I mean? Because it's just like they didn't want to hear it. Like there's just a lot of folks, black, white, whoever, they just don't want to hear what the hell you got to say if it doesn't fit into their box, their narrative, and what you should be saying.
I was going to say that's white people too. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, big time, brother. I'm telling you. When I was in Austin, I lost a lot of friends when I told people that I wasn't going to be voting for Obama in 2012, man. Were they pissed off at your boy. But anyway.
Yeah, so Obama, yeah. I mean, what did he really do for anyone? Does that, like, people don't see that, right? Like, he doesn't care.
He did a lot for some people, just not black people.
Yeah. I was going to say, I guess every president does stuff for some people.
Unless there's maybe some black bankers out there.
Yeah.
He did a whole lot for the Elemental P lifestyle community. He did a whole lot for them.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, and that's why I'm really just so mad at that dude, because there was a heavy push in the black community to get this man in the White House. Like all these commercials, you know, come help put one of us in the White House. He's gonna set things straight. He's gonna do for us. But when he got up in there, the fuck did he really do?
Right.
Damn, man, I'm mad at that dude. I'm so mad.
Like I definitely understand. Like if I was a black guy, I'd be like pretty pumped that a black guy got in the White House. You know, first time. That's a big deal. But then he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything to help anyone. And like, why don't people turn on that? You know?
Because you know what? I really can't speak on that in this company, but there's a reason for it. You know what I'm saying? I'll just say you might be ostracized.
Sure.
And that's really as far as I can go, being that we are a company. But I will say that I was one of them dudes in 08. Yeah, dog, I'm vote for Obama because he's black. That's my nigga right there. Yeah, man. We going to be up in there smoking blunts in the White House and shit. And then 6 months later, just like, well, fuck, man. He's just like every other fucking president
politician
out here, man. Like, what the fuck?
But and I think, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
I remember. I want to say it was during. It was probably at the end of his second term. He was going around asking people, you know, are you better off now than you were 8 years ago? Yeah, I am. And your punk ass ain't ever damn anything to do with that. Neither any other politician. And right then is just like, you know what? I'm never going to vote again. And I haven't voted since the 2014 midterms.
Excellent.
And that was when I really got pissed off at Republicans because they came out all full of piss and vinegar. Yo, man, get us in for these midterms, man. We gonna do it up. And then you came in, you got the House, you got the Senate, and you still got treated like bitches by the Democrats. I'm actually mad now because Republicans had 2 years. You got the House, the Senate, and the White House. Y'all could have pushed through anything. Yep. What you do, fold up like bitches. And the same goes for the freaking Democrats back in, 2008 to like 2012.
12, in that range, yeah.
Yeah, they had the House, they had the Senate, and the White House. They could have been did whatever the fuck they wanted to. But I got hit with something like all politicians do, they sell the sizzle, not the steak. Meaning they'll sell you on the issue, but they won't sell you on the solution to the issue because they know once they find a solution, they ain't got nothing to fight for anymore. Mm-hmm. They ain't got a reason to come through and tap your pockets. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
So these motherfuckers tell you, hey man, we need better streets, we need better schools, but they'll never tell you how to get better streets, how to get better schools. They'll just say, yo man, vote for me and I'll fight for you. Bitch, I can fight for myself.
Yeah, no, that's so true. I mean, we were talking about racism earlier. Racism certainly wants to be propped up by the state because they want to divide us so that we have to vote for one guy over the other. And another thing I wanted to add is that, Trump's obviously a polarizing figure, and I guess Obama was too. But in talking to people about Obama or Trump, you don't even have to say like Obama's a fraud or Obama. You can say he's a great guy, but just government's not the solution. It's not going to work. It doesn't matter who you put in there. You can put anyone in there. Government's not going to help you. It doesn't have the incentive structure. It's not designed to do that. And that's probably.
Hey, hold on, man.
Yeah.
And then.
I think your car's a statist. Didn't like what we were saying.
No. No, man. That was my girl calling me, bro. Hey, you know what? You're absolutely right. I remember on election day 2016, I sent out one tweet and then I turned off my notifications for Twitter because I didn't want to hear 12 hours of speculation. I was just like, look here, man. I know it's election day. I'm not voting and I'm not going to vote because here's why. I don't give a damn who is in the White House. No matter who wins, Hillary or Trump, I'm still going to give the next day, you know what I'm saying, inspect my truck, get out here on the road and do what the fuck I got to do as a man. It doesn't matter to me who is in the White House because I'm still going to hit my numbers. And then I sent the tweet, turned off my my notifications, and it was me, Miles Davis, Coltrane, and Slayer for the rest of the day. All right?
There you go. Get some brew.
Yeah. And I remember I freaking woke up the next morning. Matter of fact, I was right outside of San Diego, and I got on MSNBC to see who won, and my honest reaction was, damn, the nigga actually pulled it off. I bet. Now what? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like, I didn't vote for him, but I'm glad that he's in because he's the asshole that America needed. Somebody mentioned Donald Trump is not afraid to call the baby ugly. That's true. We need that. We need that rough shake, you know what I'm saying, to let you know, hey, man, look, ain't shit sweet. Y'all been fucking up. This is what we got to do to fix it. I'm cool with that. I really am.
Yeah, I mean, we're all libertarians, so we don't have to preface it like, well, I don't like Donald Trump, but it is fun to see him just not care about stuff and just run his mouth like
not giving a fuck, just laying his balls on the table like, what the fuck you gonna do? I'm Trump and you're not.
People say
that shit, man.
And I love it when people saying, "Oh, he's making a mockery of the office of the president." It's good. I hope he does. I hope no one
making a mockery. Bill Clinton got his dick sucked in the office. What are you talking about? That is like my first response. Oh, he's making a mockery. Bill Clinton got his dick sucked in the office. Shut up. I don't want to hear it.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's good when he makes a mockery of it and kind of pulls back that veil of mystique and honor and integrity and the aura of the president and the government. I want that to be just ripped down. And I want people to look at the president and be like, yeah, he's just some idiot guy. I don't want there to be like, you have to. Nothing bothers me more because it's both sides, you know. The left did it when Obama was in government. Now the right's doing it with Trump's in government to the other side. You have to respect. You don't have to agree with the man, but you have to respect the president. No, you miss me with
Facts.
that.
Facts. Respect these nuts. You want to respect some dagnabbit. Listen, for real. Like you said, I'm glad that he's in there, but he proved my point just like Hillary would have proved my point had she won. I was saying all the election, once they get down to Hillary and Trump, I was just like, you know what? Whichever one of these motherfuckers win, they're going to find out real hard, real soon, real fast, just how little power the president is supposed to have. Like, it wasn't like that with, the last guy, because nobody wanted to be seen as saying no to the first black president. You know what I'm saying? But now that it's another, white person up in there, and there's a lot of people on both sides who didn't like neither one of you, yeah, you're going to find out, just how little power the president's supposed to have. And that's been shown day by day by day by day by day. But Trump's a fighter. He like I said, he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not going to vote for him in 2020 because, again, whether he wins or loses, I'm still going to get out here and make shit happen for me and my family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, too, I mean, and you touched on this a little bit earlier about how people were so upset when Trump got in. And regardless of who got in, I mean, it was bound to happen. People were going to get, the next day, people were going to be wailing and grinding of teeth over who just became president and talking about how it's going to affect their life and everything. But you just woke up the next morning and did your thing. How emasculating is it to have that election immediately just like change your whole outlook on life? That, oh no, my life isn't going to, like, it's pathetic.
I was pissed because there was on Black Twitter, it's like the day before or the week before, I'm a strong black man, I'm a strong black woman, and then Trump get in, all of a sudden you're shaking and you're triggered and, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to feed my family? Shut up. You were strong last week. Motherfucker, be strong this week.
Right.
Like, there was people there that really thought that Trump was going to put slavery back in. I'm just like, you're an idiot. And we're not smoking weed together ever again. Get the fuck out of here. You're an absolute idiot. You're not working at my house anymore. Don't call me, you effing Nimrod. Come on, man. I mean, first of all, you know what? I'm not even going to go down that. I remember I just sent out another tweet after Trump got in. It's like, all right, Black America, take this as your wake-up call. Government is not going to save you. It's going to have to be on you. Because you know Trump ain't going to do it since you so got in your head like that. So now what the fuck you going to do? You going to fucking rise above? Or you just going to sit around Twitter and bitch and moan and play the woe is me card? Choose wisely. You know what I mean? Like, there was a bunch of people I had to talk back from the ledge. One person, I ain't going to say their name, called me crying. I'm like, the fuck you crying for? Oh, man, Trump get it. Oh, shut it. Just stop. Stop. This motherfucker's he's not the boogeyman. Yes, he's the president. He's not a king. He's not a tyrant. Okay? Tell you what you feeling right now, you give it 6 months. And you let me know if it's as bad as you thought it was going to be. Sure enough, 6 months later, well, you know, Trump's still an asshole, but it's not as bad as I thought. Exactly. It's not as bad as you thought it was going to be. Chill the fuck out.
Life goes on. You go to work the next day. We all get
Thank you. Like, people are bitching in the morning now. I'm just like, look at, man, no matter how you feel about Trump, the economy is kicking ass. More people are working, and there's less people on government assistance. How the fuck is that a bad thing? Huh? Right. It ain't.
No.
So,
Hold on, fellas. I didn't think I would see one in Torrington, Washington, but we got an official lot lizard sighting.
Nice.
Of all the places, Wyoming?
She's out there working hard.
Yeah, she won't be getting my money, though. Fuck all that shit.
That's great.
Yeah. You run into them everywhere?
You know what? I know, honestly, they're not out as much as people think. In certain areas, like California, yeah, you're gonna see a bunch of them. Oh Lordy. But once you get out of, say, California, and I would say certain cities in the Northeast, you really don't see that much of them. Which, if you want, I do have a funny story about lot lizards in Stockton, if there's time. If not, no worries.
Sure, I've had it.
We got all the time in the world.
Okay, I was in Stockton, California, at some no-name truck stop off of I-5, maybe about 30, 40 spots. Whoever was working these females, you want to talk about capitalism, man, I counted no less than 17 females working this little 30-spot truck stop. Yeah, and like,
big
it got to the
business.
point. Yeah, and it got to the point after like the 4th or 5th time with them knocking on my door. Hey, sweet, I'm just like, I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. I lied and told them I was gay. Look, you're cool, but I'm gay. I'm knocking on my door. No. You laugh. These motherfuckers sent a dude over. I'm like, hey, big boy. I'm like, ain't this about a bitch? I'm like, you motherfuckers getting your money. You motherfuckers is out there hoeing.
They got an operation there.
I was like, you know what? I should be mad, but damn, you hoes is getting your motherfucking money. You're still not coming in my truck, but parts of you, Pedro. But no, thank you. Damn. Motherfucker sitting out to my door talking about, hey, big fella, want some company? No, motherfucker, I don't.
She just started asking, saying like, "Well, no, I like the just ridiculous requests and see if they see."
No,
if they
you probably would have been all about it. The price is right.
Oh, that's great.
Dude, I was shocked, but at the same time amazed. Like, damn, these motherfuckers is about their business in Stockton. Seriously.
Oh man,
There's your free market success story.
yeah. So here's here's the most important. Here's because I've seen you tweet about this a few times, and I think this is kind of going to be the most important thing we're going to talk about here. But where is the best place in the U.S. to get ribs?
To get rich?
Ribs.
Oh, ribs. Oh,
yeah.
Man, dude. There's a few. I mean, for me personally, Texas is good. I prefer dry rub or just ribs and no sauce on them. I'm not really a fan of sauce on ribs because sauce to me says you're trying to hide something. If your ribs are good, you don't need no damn sauce. Yep. But as far as my personal favorite, on I-70 in Oak Grove, Missouri, exit 28, right by the Petro, there's a place called KC Baby Back Ribs. Lord have mercy. Look at here. They actually have a trucker special where you get a full slab of ribs and 2 sides and a drink for like $27. Get that shit.
How long will that hold you
It's
for?
really what's been. Well, I was hungry that day, so not that long. Not that long. But it's good ribs. If you're in Denver, there is, I can't remember the name, but if you do a search for, ribs, 64th Avenue, Denver, Colorado, it will pop up. It's this little restaurant run by these 2 little sweet old Italian ladies, but damn if they ribs ain't the fucking bomb. Okay? And quite honestly, one of the few joints that I will allow sauce on my ribs because it's not your average sauce. It's like damn near marinara. It's thick as hell, but it's so damn good. Let me think. Who else got some good ass ribs? Oh, the Ponderosa Grill at the Tubit's truck stop in Portland, Oregon. They got some tasty ribs. There's a spot in Longmont, Colorado called the Old Moon Tavern. They got some good ribs. Pretty much anywhere in Texas, you're going to get some good ribs. So just find a place and eat them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, you're making me hungry now. Shouldn't have asked that question.
Hey.
So, all right.
Yeah,
There's
please go ahead. Good. No. Because if they keep on talking, I'm going to want some ribs.
Yeah, what's out in Wyoming? You got to be in the middle of nowhere, huh?
I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. This place has a restaurant. When we get done, I'm going to walk up in there and see what it's all about. But if I don't like what I see, there's a Pizza Hut 200 yards away from me.
Yeah, it's consistent. You know what you're getting there.
Correct.
Yeah, so let's transition the mention of Wyoming into the free market success story, because we kind of mentioned this before we started recording, that it's pretty neat that you're in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming and driving in your tractor trailer, and you're you're able to do this call with us. I mean, a couple of years ago, this would have been impossible.
You're absolutely correct. Absolutely. Like free market wins, technology wins. This is what happens when you don't let the government put their thumb up your butt. Shit happens. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of shit the government is doing that either A, they punk ass shouldn't be doing it in the first place, or B, it can be handled better by the private sector. You know what I'm saying? Looking at you, post office, Amtrak,
Well, so many fruits of the market. It's just that there would be no incentive for the government to even dream about doing this stuff. I mean, why would they care to
put a Pizza Hut?
Right, or anything, any of this stuff.
And Pizza Hut's not the greatest food in the world, but you know what you're getting. They got a brand, and they're all over the place. And so if you don't want to try some questionable food, you know what Pizza Hut is, and it's out there in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty impressive that someone decided to put it.
Correct. Like I'm not even on a major highway right now. I'm on a state highway, 2 lanes in the middle of Wyoming and whatnot. But yet and still, there is a Pizza Hut, a McDonald's, Burger King, Taco John's, which I think is the best, funniest name ever.
Taco John's.
Yeah. Yes, because you're a Mexican restaurant, yet you're using the English version. Why not Taco Juan? But no, you call it Taco John. And you know what the slogan is?
What's that?
That's a whole lot of Mexican. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, really? That's what you came up with? How did this get cleared by standards and practices?
I guess when you're a long way from Mexico, people don't understand what they're. I mean, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Taco John's.
that is
But
the
it's good
worst.
food, though.
Good.
Yeah, no. Hey,
I like Mexican.
there's a big Mexican population around where I live because of all the mushroom farms, and man, they brought their restaurants and food up here with them, and it is excellent.
Hey, have you guys tried the lingua yet? Have you ever tried that?
Oh yeah, tongue.
I never have.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Oh,
It's so damn good.
It is.
I love the fuck out of it.
People think it's weird, but man, it's so tender and so beefy, and like melts in your mouth like butter. Oh, did you ever? Okay, so did you ever have menudo?
I have had that.
I've had menudo. Not really a fan of it.
Okay.
Just really not my thing.
Yeah,
But I've also had cabeza as well. That is good. Barbacoa is good.
Oh, I love barbacoa.
Nopalita, which is cactus, is damn good. You get some cactus, an egg, and a taco. Good stuff.
Yeah, one of the farmers market near me sells cactus. I ought to pick some up and try that. There's the Mexican and farmers markets near me. They have the chicharrones, but the ones that are just like the big sheet, not the little pieces. It's just still in like a big like blanket of pig fat, and it's so good. There's nothing like eating that while drinking a beer.
Indeed. Good stuff, man.
Yes.
Good stuff.
So let people know where they can find you.
Man, listen, you can find me on Twitter at Quincy Loves BBWS because, yes, I do love BBWs. For those that don't know, BBW stands for Big, Beautiful Woman. And I love you, ladies. All right? If you're out here $175, you know what I'm saying, and you got your shit together, hold your head up high, lady.
All right, thank you. I mean, it's funny. Slappy and I always talk about. We always try to every once in a while we try to do episodes on like social issues and everything, and it's just like so difficult.
Suck at them.
Yeah, we're terrible at it.
I just don't care as much, you know.
But this was unbelievably fun, and we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Let's hope this thing does numbers and it puts you guys up there, you know?
It will.
Yeah, definitely be above a fagcast. No question about that. Show notes page for this episode will be mcflugel.com/127. Go there and we'll link Quincy's Twitter account there. So go follow him and talk to him on there. And also on the show notes page, we'll go check out libertymugs.com. Buy yourself a pretty cool libertarian themed mug. And with that, once again, thank you, Quincy.
One last thing before we go.
Go for it. Uh-oh.
Pineapples don't go on pizza ever.
Dang.
Okay,
I'm done.
All right. Let me. Since we're on this topic, what is your position on fruitcake?
Fuck funny you should mention that. I actually just fucked off a whole log of fruitcake like 2 days ago. I love fruitcake, and I don't care who knows about it.
I
love it.
I love fruitcake too. I think it's one of the best foods out there, and I made a bunch on for Christmas, and I actually gave Slappy a piece, and he never had fruitcake before. So Slappy, why don't you tell the world about your fruitcake experience?
If I have to be honest, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yep.
Hey, I actually remember telling my friend one night, this before I became a truck driver, because I can't do this now. We were high as a giraffe's ass, and we were just talking shit. I was like, you know what? If there's ever a nuclear war, the only survivors is going to be real niggas, roaches, and fruitcake. Take that to the bank.
That's true. Oh man! All right,
and it's so good.
I'm glad that got brought up because that brings me so much vindication. So there's a few of us on. Maybe I'll get you in on this action. There's a few of us on Twitter that whenever we come across someone that's saying something really stupid, that instead of actually like interacting with them, we just post a picture of fruitcake. And they don't know how to react. That's great.
Okay, I'm in. Fuck it, I'm in. That's hilarious. That, you know what? That would probably save me from getting suspended on the fucking time. So instead of me telling somebody to go fuck their mother, I'll just send them a picture of a fruitcake and just tell them be blessed or some shit.
Yeah. Get on it. We'll retweet it.
Yeah. And go follow a little Twitter account called the Fruitcake ADL, Fruitcake Anti-Defamation League. I'll go make sure they follow you.
Page?
Yeah, it's a real page.
It's a real thing.
Oh my god. I'm crying tears over here. Make it the fuck out of here.
All right, we'll let you go. Thanks for listening, everyone.
All right, man.
We'll catch you next week.
Peace.
Peace.